The Unlock protocol is a new way for creators, communities, brands, and publishers to offer memberships. Memberships are created using a user-friendly dashboard, and creators can then set the terms to sell these membership cards as NFTs. So today we're going to discuss how this can help content creators to generate new streams of revenue. Hello, I'm Taj, digitally known as Tropic Vibes, the host of Nifty Business, where we highlight NFTs and explore Web 3.0 as we move from pure speculation to creating real-world value. So a traditional content creator is going to either rely on a few streams of income. Either they're going to be ads somehow related. So let's say someone is on YouTube or a podcast dropping in ads, or they're going to be selling their own products and services. So for example, if you are doing consultation or a real estate agent or something of that nature, where your services are directly related to the content that you're producing, you're basically using the content as a way to get new leads and find new customers. Or the second one is to offer some sort of membership, such as an ad-free version or exclusive behind the scenes. And usually this is done with some sort of paywall that is specific to platforms such as on Twitter or TikTok or via podcast, where there might be another stream where there is a feed that is specifically for the paid customers or the paid listeners. So those are actually locked in specifically to that platform. And it makes integrating across platforms a little bit difficult. So for example, if someone has a massive audience on YouTube, well, how do they integrate that with the TikTok benefits or the exclusive podcast feed or a Twitch stream, whatever it might be? So usually each of these are specific ones that are locked into those platforms, and the audiences don't really cross over. Now, they have third-party ones such as a Patreon or some other forum where people are doing buy a coffee or whatever it might be, where that is an outside platform. But the question is, well, how do you integrate all of that and link all of these different communities? Well, the different thing with these NFTs, what makes it a very interesting way of doing this is it allows for all these cross-platform integrations, and it doesn't matter which platform the individual is coming from. You can then open up and token gate all the access through a specific portal using the NFT. So one way of doing this would be using a WordPress plugin. Now, they have their own Unlock Protocol WordPress plugin. What that simply means is a WordPress website, which is a content management site, which is pretty much running about half of all websites on the internet at this point. It initially started off as blogs, but then it evolved to having all sorts of different ways. There's sales websites, there is e-commerce, you name it. You can all do it with WordPress. Well, now they have these plugins, which is what they're using, this Unlock plugin, to have it token gated. So let's say you want to offer some sort of Zoom calls or whatever benefits it is, an exclusive podcast stream, a Twitch stream, whatever. Well, you can do that, token gating all that information, or even just the video replays using the WordPress, having that NFT that you would release using this protocol, and it's all right there, very simple, user-friendly, and can be set up literally in seconds. Now, the interesting thing with this protocol is that it is a basic standard, and it's not something that is specific to one platform or another. So, for example, if you're using the paid features from Twitter or TikTok, those creator revenue streams, it is locked into that platform, so they really govern the rules of it. With this protocol, the way it is built, it is actually governed by a DAO. The users that are actually on this platform, they're the ones who are making the decisions as to how the protocol can shift, the different things that can be used and implemented, and the shifts that are made. So it is basically like you're voting and getting into this group by using the product, and then you have a say on the direction that it goes. So it's very interesting, to say the least, because there's very few products where the customer actually has a stake in it, the actual business and the way it goes. So in true fashion of Web3, that is something that's very interesting here. Now, there's different levels as to how someone might find value in this. Let's say a customer who is a listener or a viewer of the streams or whatever it might be, a true fan. Well, normally the model that we use or often compare these things to is the video game industries. And so the apps that are on your phone, you have the free players who just literally hop on the app, they download it and they play for free, and that's it. Then you have the people that are willing to pay a little bit for an upgrade or the frequency of being able to play more often or whatever it might be. And then, of course, on the outside, you have the stakeholders who are involved in the platform, and they're the ones who are looking for the growth and looking for the revenue stream and the profits. Well, what makes this platform very interesting is that it almost sets it up that all of those people can also be the same parties in general. So that's very interesting because not only are you using this platform, but you also have an incentive to promote the adoption, and the direction in which it goes is also going to benefit it. So I wanted to think of, let's say, a specific use case of how you might be thinking, well, there's other creators out there and they already have their NFTs and they're doing that, and this is nothing new. Well, the difference is it was basically a perpetual NFT, meaning that that particular one, these PFPs or whatever it might be, a membership card or anything that we've seen over the last 2 years or so, it is a one-time purchase, and the only other way to generate revenue from this is usually from the resale. And as we've seen right now, when it comes to royalties, well, will the marketplace honor it or not? Because it's actually not built into the NFTs. So what's going to go forward is the only option for that business to then make more revenue is to sell more NFTs. And then hence what we see, more NFTs coming onto the market, the interest might not be there, prices falling, and so forth. When, of course, the supply outpaces the demand, prices fall because there's an oversaturation of the market. And that's what we've seen over the last couple months or year. But as a creator and using this unlock protocol, something that's very interesting is you can actually have a time-sensitive NFT. So let's say you want to have 1,000 true fans, they have their perpetual, their one-time purchase, and as long as they hold that, they can unlock certain benefits. But let's say there's ongoing costs. Let's say you have guest speakers coming in to speak and teach master classes or workshops. Well, that is an ongoing expense for the business. Can royalties really cover that? Well, no, it cannot. Generally speaking, unless you are a VFriends or a Bored Ape, a CryptoPunk, the royalties probably aren't going to sustain enough revenue in order to pay and continue to grow a business. So what you can actually do with this unlock protocol is have a subscription where it could be a monthly, a quarterly, an annual, or whatever it is pass. So as long as that subscription through that NFT is going, well, then the access is granted. So it's very interesting. Some people might be wondering, well, how is that any different than just using any of these platforms that allows for, use your debit card and you get onto it? Well, that's the thing. This is cross-platform integration. You're able to plug this into your WordPress. You can set up Zoom calls and you can use multiple other platforms that allow for token integration in order to unlock features. So that is why this is so unique. And since it is time sensitive, that power to unlock those things also go away. Now, you can also still have the ability to transfer it and sell it on the open market and so forth. However, knowing very well that it is time sensitive, but once the gated community access and all that is expired, the membership is no longer there, you still have that digital collectible or whatever it might be. It's just not unlocking those features anymore. And one thing that I'll draw attention towards is the fact that Unlock actually uses their very own protocol to gate their Discord. So this is not the type of Discord where you just go in there and you have full access. What you actually do is you mint a free NFT on Polygon, and that allows you 30 days to explore the Discord, go on the servers, and have full access to everything. So I think that's just very interesting in the sense that you're not going to have this massive Discord with a whole bunch of inactive users and what have you. So by default, this is going to purge it out every 30 days, and only the people that are most active in there that actually willingly want to be there are going to be in the ranks. So when you see those numbers, it can't be inflated. And I think that's just a very interesting way of using this protocol and causes engagement. So if this was the type of Discord we're actually paying to get in, that'd be also very interesting in seeing that it's an ongoing, continuous form of revenue for them. But of course, because this server is just supporting this community and this platform, what have you, that there's actually no charge to it. It is a free NFT, but it does spark the idea and give an example as to what can be done with it. So this is very interesting, and outside of these creators that are possibly going to increase their revenue stream or find revenue streams altogether, there is a lot of potential for even something like, say, a Netflix. We know that Netflix has the subscription model. That is how they've always made their money. However, we've also seen that password sharing is a huge thing. They weren't cracking down on it initially because Netflix was growing, and they're almost encouraging it that you should share it. But now that growth has slowed down, they're starting to log IPs and see where these things are going and so forth. So when it comes to Web Web3 technology, I would not be surprised if something like the Unlock protocol is going to be used for your subscription for Netflix, whereas generally speaking, people aren't going to share their NFTs with other people because that's going to have them to have access to their specific wallet. And also, you can even have it locked. So, for example, it could be a non-transferable membership, meaning that once it expires, the only option, the person can either keep it for collectible reasons or they can burn it, but it is not transferable in the sense that the rights will go from one person to the other or from one wallet to the other. So there's different things that you could do. And all of that can be done very user-friendly. It is a simple plug-and-play dashboard. And even going forward, I've been doing some thinking that how can I use something like this to possibly generate revenue for the show? So I'd love to know, what are your thoughts as to something like the Unlock protocol and those types of memberships could be used to add benefits to listeners? Is this something that you'd be interested in? I would love for you to check it out. Just look at it. It's unlock-protocol.com. I'll leave the link in the show notes so you can check it out. And I would love to know any kind of feedback that you might have, how you think I could use this to possibly add benefits to listeners such as yourself. Please feel free to reach out to me at Tropic Vibes on Twitter or using the contact information in the show notes. But as usual, I just want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this as we're learning and building Web3 together. Later. The Nifty Business Arrow is not investment advice. It provides insights and information within the space. As with anything, please do your own research before making a decision whether you're making an investment or a purchase.